I have not practiced much prose since the days of high school. There are gaps in my vocabulary, and insecurity taints the diction. I have some notion for how writing should be read, but I base it on hunch rather than logic. Often, I only write words because their sound pleases me. The words are often chosen based on whim, likely a rediscovery from a past social occasion long bereft of context. Banality, after all, does not become the artist. But this vagary can lead to disagreements in verbiage. Thus, I act as housekeeper, undoing the chaos and cleaning up inconsistencies with revision. It is an unusual arrangement between the writer and his canvas. Not an ideal method for the upstart to command respect, but I must experiment in order to develop a style. At times, we must embrace error if we are to find new truth in our science. The writer must know the logic of the letter, as the mathematician must know the logic of the numeric. Words exist in this language, a language that I dare to commandeer, that can compress paragraphs and repress the need for them entirely. Yet I do not know these words. I have not yet breached this higher form of dialect. It is not an urgent matter either. I will learn these words as a matter of course. Instead, I will use my time to actively profane syntax, bending and compressing it until it has either snapped betwixt mine palms or coated the creases in artistry. This is not done out of malice, but necessity. In order to create new logic, I must risk myself a fool and write with callous disregard. It is unfortunate I am not yet at the level of a grammarian. I imagine the grammarian to be so proficient in their practice that they need only glance a sentence to spot its flaws, which in turn expedites the revision process. Nevertheless, I am fortunate to be mostly correct in the usage of words, and this intrinsic competency will suffice for now. But there is tragedy adorning this penchant for linguistics. The knowledge on how to write comes into conflict with a want to write without constraint. The younger Tristan read of the melancholic artists of yore, their writing but a release, not a notion to survive. Their flesh gone, but their design linger on, and in their vision they conceive me, not knowing I would be born centuries later. Although I was raised a bastard, I sensed them to be kindred. A cadre of sullen romantics that do nothing but the beat of their heart and the weight of their soul. I found myself captivated by their work, and would urge myself to write and speak as they do. My own work is fraught with delay, amateurish, and is at most a mockery of my romantic progenitors, but I am not dissuaded. There is naught else to do but attempt again and once again until I have proven my worth or unworth. I can be no more basic than I had already been, and I will not deny myself this chance to reassemble anew. Alas, this passion had abandoned me for years, and the poet now dwarfs beside his youth. Writing was how I knew to speak, but none could comprehend me. Where I found company in words, I also found empty. There were times I knew my surroundings to be only of my own creation, work unintelligible to my peers, for not a soul could fathom their meaning. It led me to believe the work had no meaning, and I aged from a blissful child to a thoughtful madman curled beside a pile of heaping stanza. The rhymes were repetitious, and I saw limitation in expression, from which I drew irk. I was ungraceful in poesy, and this inexperience begot a rift between the world of writing and myself. She, the inner romantic, would splinter, sundering my soul, and this would collapse the bridge to any exhibition of feeling. She stood at the other end of the now broken bridge and turned away from me. She would leave me to my isle of loathsome with a final edict, a muzzling smile to be sutured to my face, never to fade no matter the anguish that hides,